Maybe we can talk a little bit about the important things the New York Times has been teaching us lately about our history in this world, including how did women fare in China's communist revolution? Now, I had a lot of thoughts about that before, but now I'm woke because they tell us here the communists did many terrible things, but they made women's lives much better. Which was not it was not what I thought before.
Really?
I've learned something new.
So wait, the communists did a lot of bad things. Did they mention any of them? Like the
they get into a little bit of that.
90 million people they slaughtered?
Well, I don't think that's the important thing to focus on here.
Okay, all right.
I thought the tweet the New York Times put out really crystallized the issue, which was, for all its flaws, the communist revolution taught Chinese women to dream big.
Like someday I'll be out of these shackles.
But maybe something like that.
Someday I could worship as I wanted to. Someday, I know. Teaching women to dream big. Maybe you could have 2 children.
Whoa, don't dream too big now.
It's not going to be a dream that comes true. They'll come and they'll rip the child out of you, kill the child, and possibly kill you. But you can dream big. Maybe 2 children.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
And can you get away with, for all its flawsing, $60 million dead? I feel like that's more than a for all its flaws reference.
Well, I mean, you could say, yes, you could do that. You could do that. But you would also then have to accept smaller flaws, like, for all of the flaws on slavery, the founding of America was good.
Right. You'd have to do that.
You'd have to do that.
You certainly wouldn't be tearing down statues anyway.
No, of course not. For all of the flaws in America, it has been good for people.
For all of its flaws, the fire that burned their house to the ground gave off some much-needed warmth in that cool fall air.
That's true. It is true.
Yeah, for all of its flaws, the thickness of the antifreeze he was drinking satisfied his appetite momentarily.
That is, again,
nice.
That's another good one. It's another good one.
For all of its flaws, the giant meteor careening towards the Earth provided some much-needed shade on a bright summer afternoon. I think that works.
I like that.
For all of its flaws, Anthony Weiner's decision to sign up for Twitter did guarantee that Hillary Clinton would never be president. That one actually kind of works.
That one works. I like that one.
Works.
Yeah, that one's not really funny. That one's true.
That's true. It's not funny in any way.
For all of the flaws on that joke, it still is good.
It still
works.
That one actually works.
It still works.
Unless you're, a parent of a random 15-year-old, then it's not quite as good or funny.
Yeah, but you know what? For all of his flaws, look at the things that he taught young women.
There you go.
Right?
Think of how much.
Think how outrageous Think how outrageous that statement is from the New York Times. For all of its flaws, communism really has taught women to think big. Do they describe how they're thinking big?
Well, I mean, I guess, look, pre-communist China was not a delightful place for women either. And there were times in the communist revolution where they had all hands on deck, is the way I would describe it. They put women to work. And I guess the hope of the career gave them a little bit.
The hope of the career. The one where they work for Apple and throw themselves off the roof. That one.
Yeah, I guess
that's good. Yeah, that's good.
Listen to this. The party at times only paid lip service to the equal sharing of domestic labor, but in practice, it condoned women's continuing subordination in the home. Well, there's a hopeful dream.
Dream big. Dream big. You can share the labor equally.
Right. But in posters and speeches, Glenn, female socialist icons were portrayed as iron women who labored heroically in front of steel furnaces.
Freaking believable.
While maintaining a harmonious family.
Think of this.
This is a real article.
These are killers.
Yeah.
These are killers. They killed 60 to 100 million people.
I mean, you're, again, 5 times the amount of Hitler? 5 times? This is not a cute little story that you look back on and fondly. This is the most murderous regime in world history, period. And they're talking about them like they were inspirational, though.
Despite all of his flaws, he did come up with the Volkswagen.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
You could absolutely do this with Hitler. They never would.
Despite all of his flaws, the Autobahn is unbelievable. Despite all of his flaws, those were snappy uniforms.
There you go.
I mean, it's crazy.
It's incredible.
It is crazy.
And you cannot And that's what's
and
so amazing.
especially since they are taking us apart and not giving us, despite all of our flaws. They're not giving us any room for that. No room. But they will for people who have killed the minimum of 60 million people.
It's amazing what you'll overlook when
it's just ideology.
Your bias is being confirmed.
Yes.
When that comes out, it makes everything a lot easier.
But it shows you also how frightening communism, socialism, fascism really is. Because when you can overlook the death of 60 million people, the orchestrated death of 60 million people, and you can say, yeah, well, I mean, you have to crack a few eggs. When you can get there, there is no depravity that will stop you currently, because you believe, yes, that's bad, but that's why you have to be intellectually honest.